Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this part I'm going to show you how can we work with latest post features. So for that, first we need to add a list view, and if you look at here, we have a text that is called latest post. We need to change our background color, then we need to add the icon and all of this thing. So for that, first we need to so scroll down, and then in here we need to add our body tag. So add body tag, first need to add the list view, and list view contains children of widget. I am adding here list view so that I can scroll it, because if we need to add more data, then we will be able to scroll if I use this list view. So first we need to add a background color. So if you look at here, we will see we have a background color, right? So for this background color, I'm gonna copy this. First we need to copy this color code. So I guess this one is this background color. Okay, so I can copy this color code here, and I need to paste it inside this scaffold widget. So add background color. Color is going to be 0xFF. Alright, okay. So as long as you are adding this background color inside this scaffold widget, it is totally fine. You will not get any error. Okay, if you add outside this scaffold widget, then you will get error. Now let me do hot reload. So now we can see our color has changed. Now in here we need to add 3 container first. So our this one is our first container, this one is our second container, and this one is our third container. Okay, so for the first container, I'm gonna add here, we can comment out here, first container, and need to add a container, and inside this container we need to add a scaffold. So first need to add a container and add height, and we can say height 250.0, and we need to add the margin. Margin is going to be as insert all, we can say 5.0, and child, in here first we need to add a column. Column has children of widget, because we need to add a column. If you look at here, then we will see that we have a text that is latest post, then we have all of this data. So our first column item will be our text, then second column item will be our list item. Alright, so this one is our container, and inside this container first we need to add a text. We can add a container here also, so container, and add a child. Child is going to be a text, and we can say this latest post. We need to change the color of this text, and style is going to be text style, and font size we can say 18.0, and going to add color. Color is going to be this colors.white. Now we can see our latest post is here. We need to add it in the left side. So if we want to add this left side, then we need to use this cross axis alignment. Cross axis alignment start. Alright, so now we can see our latest post is here, and let me add some margin inside this container. So margin is as insert all, we can say 6.0, so that we can get few space for this latest post, and it is working now perfectly. And after this latest post, we need to add our, so first add a size box, and in here we need to add size box, define the height, we can say height 6.0, and after this we need to add another container, and this container will contain our whole data. Right? So let me explain it again before jump into all of our coding session. So first we have defined our first container, then defined the height, then margin, and I have added the column, and the first column item is our latest post, and our second column item will be our this one. So therefore I have added a container, and I will add here a child, and our child will be a list view. And list view contain children of widget, and inside the children of widget we need to add all of our container, and for this one it will be first container. So add our first container And so if you look at here, we have a image in the left side, then we have title, description, and then we have our view. So it means we need to work with a row. So child is going to be a row, and inside this row we need to add a children of widget. Now we need to define this row using this expanded. So expanded takes two parameters itself. First one is flex and second one is child. So child is going to be a image, so clipper react, and I'm gonna add the border radius. Border radius is going to be border radius dot circular, you can say that's 15.0. and now we need to add a child, and our child will be our image dot network. So image dot network, and I am in here, we need to paste our image URL. So after this border radius, we need to add our image URL here. So for this, first we need to add our child. Child is going to be image.network, and in here we need to add our image URL. So I will take some image URL from these pixels. So you can copy any image URL, whatever you want, and after that we need to add height, and height for this image we can say 200. We don't need to define any white as we are using this flex, so it will automatically take the white. And now we need to add the feed. Feed is going to be this box feed dot cover. All right, so now let me explain it one more time. So this one is our main container, and after this we have a container that is containing latest post text, and after that we have another container that is our list view. That is our list view, and inside this list view we have this container, and this container, and inside this list view we have this container. I think I have done a mistake here. It is asking for a extra. Let me check what mistake we have done here. Okay, so first we need to add here a height, because inside this list view this container will contain this this whole data, this card one, this one. Okay, so this one. So therefore we need to define a height here, and before that let me add the child of this image. So child is image dot image network dot. Now in here I need to copy this image address again. So copy this image. So before copy this image address, let me mention the height. So height is 200.0, and feed is going to be box feed dot cover. And now I will tell you, I will paste it here, and okay, it will work. And now inside this, so this one was main container, that is our list view, and for in here inside this, before this list view we need to define the height, and height is 250.0. now if I run it, so we got an error, right? We got an error, and the reason is that our height, we are not getting enough height. So I think I'm gonna increase the height for this one. We can, and remember that in our main container we have mentioned our height 250, therefore we were getting this error. Now our height, now it's perfect. Now we can see the whole image here, because we don't have any other expanded item over here, therefore we are getting this error. So this container height will this one, but inside this container we also need to define our white here, because we need to add few white here. Like if you look at here, this has a certain amount of white, and even though if you want we can mention the height here, as we have mentioned the height in here, therefore we don't need to mention the height here. So we can mention here white, and white we can say 250.0, it will be good. Okay, so now this one is our first expanded item, and after that we need to add another expanded item. First add a size box. Inside the size box we need to add white, we can say white 5.0, and now in here we need to add another expanded. So expanded flex 2, and child is going to be column for this time. column is going to children of widget. And now the question is that why we are adding here column, because if you look at here, we have a title, then we have a description, then we have this view, so it is a column. So now we need to add our first column item, that is our text. We can directly add this text, and text is going to be, you can say, first title, and need to change the style, and style is going to be this text style, and text style is going to be font size, so you can say 20.0, and change the color. Color is colors.white. Okay, now we need to add another size box, and we need to define the height, and height is going to be 5.0, and we need to define another height, another text, and this text will be our content. This text will be our content. We can say Lorem Ipsum. So go to this Lorem Ipsum site where we can copy some text. Okay, we can paste some text here. And now after that we need to define the style. So style is text style, and font size 17.0, and color is colors.white, and we need to add the maximum line, number of line. So maximum lines we can say 3, not more than that. So now let me run it. Let's see if we can see this. And here we go. Now we can see our data, but it is not in the right format. And the first reason is that we need to first, inside this column, we need to add this cross axis alignment. So start, it might be solve. So now our text is in the right corner, and for the row we also need to use this main axis alignment, and main axis alignment dot start. Now run it, and it should start from, okay, so not main axis, it should be cross axis alignment. Okay, now if I run it, now it should come over here. So now it is here. Okay, we are getting very less, so we can add some padding here. So let me show you how can we add padding for our text. So in here we can click on this text, and in the left side you will be able to see this bulb and add padding options. For this text also click and add this padding. If you want, you can change this value whatever you want. I guess 8 is fine. Here you go. Now we can see this space. I think we are getting a little bit more, I think our image height is a bit more, so therefore I'm going to reduce this image height here. So instead of saying 200, I can say 150. Let's see how it looks if we select 150. Yes, 150 is perfect. And if we notice here, then we will see that, okay, so then I think we can change this height over here also, 150, or we can say a 160 here. Okay, if you look at here, if you look at our UI, we will see that we have different background color in here, right? But in here we don't have, and the reason is that we have not added background color for this container. So therefore we need to add our background color right here. So we need to add a background color here. So color is going to be this color 0x_f. Let me copy this color code here. So this color code here, and I'm gonna paste it here and run it again. So hope this time we will be able to see. Here you go. Now we can see our color code here, right? We can see our color code. Okay, also we have taken a little bit more white for this container, I guess. I think instead of 160 we can choose 140. Okay, let me see if we can see any changes. Okay, so for the white we can see. All right, so this is our first item, and after this, and inside this column, like after this text, we need to add another container so that we can add this icon. So container, and inside this container we need to add a child will be a row, and inside this row we need to add children of widget. And the reason is that why we need to add here row, because if you look at here, we have an icon, we have an eye icon, and then this view text. Therefore we need to use a container, and then we need to add a text. Okay, so we can add a size box here. So add size box, and we can say height is going to be 5.0, and our first item is our icon. So choose icon. Icon is going to be these icons dot remove red eye. This is the color of this icon. We can change the color. Color is going to be colors dot deep orange, and I'm gonna change the size of this icon. We can say 20.0. Okay, so our second item is our text. So I'm gonna add this text, and text will be our views, and change the color. So style is text style, and font size is 18.0, and color is colors dot white. We need to have a little bit of space between these two items, so I'm gonna add this size box here, and I can say white 6.0. Now run it. Here you go. Now we can see our icon. See, we can see our icon, but we need to change our icon size a little bit more. I don't know, this size is not working here. Maybe yes, now it is working. We can see this icon now. So we have successfully designed our latest post features. So now let me copy this a couple of more times so that we can see. And inside the list view, first we need to add the scroll direction. So scroll direction is going to be axis.horizontal. All right, so this is our main container, and this container is containing this whole part. So therefore we need to copy here, and before that add a size box here and say white 6.0, and now we can copy this container here. So copy this entire container inside this list view, and we can paste it a couple of more times, and let's run it if we can see it here. And here you go. Now there is a issue. It seems we have changed our white very little. We have given a very little size for our white, therefore we are getting this thing. So let me change this to 240, and for this one we also need to change it to 240. Now run it, and here you go. Now we can see, we can scroll it, as well as still we are getting very less size, so we can say 300, and for this one we need to add 300. Now run it. Yes, now it's good, but we are getting a lot of unnecessary space for our height, so therefore we need to change our height over here. Like in here we have given our height 300, so instead of 300 choose is 250. Okay, we need to add a little bit more, so 270 will be good. Okay, so our height is 270 here, and in here our height is I think we don't need to define our height here. Okay, we can define our height 300, but we can change our height in here, right? This is our main container where we have defined our height 250. Instead of saying 250 we can say 200, because our image size is 150. Now it is working perfectly. If we want, we can reduce this a little bit more. We can say 170 will be good for this one. All right, now it is working perfectly. Now it is working perfectly. Like for the view items, we are getting a little bit more space beyond our requirement. So I'm gonna change this size box. Okay, so okay, we are getting this space because of this pairing. It is not a big issue. Now if we look at our icon here, I think we have a we do not have any box decoration, so therefore we don't need to change our box decoration here. So we are able to scroll it horizontally. Let me change the image for second one. Okay, we can choose this one. And now I'm gonna change this icon, change this image here and paste it new image here, and now run it. Now we can see these different images here. Alright, so we have successfully implemented it, and I guess we need to add a little bit more space between these two containers. Instead of saying 6, we can say 10 between these two items. Okay, now it looks good. See, now it looks good. Alright, so we have successfully completed our latest post. Though we are not adding here our Firestore yet, we will add it in next part, maybe or after that. And I'm gonna stop this video right here and try to subscribe this channel so that you can get a lot of new videos, and click the bell icon as well. And if you need any free coupon of my Udemy course, then you can join to my Facebook group. You will get the discount, the group link in description below. I have a couple of courses on Udemy. Till now I taught 53,000 students, and I have 12 courses as of now. Okay, so see you in the next lecture. Thank you.